I'd say really just like the playbook and just, slowing the game down. When I first got here in the spring, it was just like going from high school, it was just like upbeat, especially with Coach Kitley's offense. It was like my head was a little scrambled when I first got here, but over the summer, just like working, getting in the playbook, extra work at nights and stuff, it made me slow the game down to where I can go out there and play fast now.
He talked about you coming out at night and working. The last person that I really remember doing that is Brandon Bryant. Is that something that you've always done, or something that you picked that up just to help get you caught up to speed and get the edge?
No, I mean, that's something I've always done throughout high school. Like, I've always been like the hardest worker, I'd like to say. That's what I pride myself on, and I know I can go do the extra things to get better, so why wouldn't I go out there and do what I need to do to put myself in the position I want to be in.
What motivates you to do that? Like, what is, you said you've always done it. When did that start? And the nights that maybe you don't feel like getting up and, putting on the hard hat and going after it, what is it that gets you out of bed to do something?
I mean, I'm really just so self-motivated. It's like, I just picture my future self and what I see myself becoming. Like, I want to go to the NFL, and I know you can't just sit around and talk about it. You got to go in and put in the work. So I'm just chasing my dream.
And with that work, you talked about on-field drills, things like that. But what have you learned in the film room that's helped you out?
In the film room, I mean, the big thing for me was getting in the playbook at first, just because going from high school, you run a couple plays. It's really just like easy. You know what you're doing all the time. Coming here, it's like a bigger playbook. I got to learn everything. So it was just like, meeting with Coach Spence and getting the extra, like learning the details of when, certain situations, certain things that I have to do, but also with film, just, watching myself and watching my mistakes and, when I go out there in that next situation, remembering what I did wrong and so I can do it right this time.
And your first college game will be in a Big Ten stadium. Are you looking forward to be able to play under a Power 4 stadium type of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember in the spring game, I went out and the stands weren't like popping like I would have thought they would have been. So when I even looked it up, Maryland Stadium has like 51,000 seats. So I mean, first game of the season, I definitely hope it's completely booked out.
And you open there all on the fourth quarter, right?
Yes, sir.
How's your body evolved since high school? How much weight have you put on? And what is the goal to get yourself, because that's one of the things Coach was saying, is getting your body up to speed to be able to play at the college level.
Yeah, I mean, I've put on around like 15 pounds, 20 pounds since I've got here in January. But, with fall camp and stuff, it's, harder to, keep on the weight now. But I'm trying to get up to, 240 plus. Like, I want to be as big as I can while keeping my speed, because Coach Lacey was talking about superpowers earlier. Like, I feel like that's my superpower, my speed. So I mean, I don't want to put on weight to where I lose that, but I know I need to get bigger to be able to keep playing at this level.
What attracted you to FAU as you talk about your NFL aspirations, your aspirations to get better? Clearly, there's guys that have done it at your position.
Yeah.
The sack champ, reigning sack champion of the NFL. What is it about FAU that got you here?
Yeah, I mean, I came on my visit, it was the old staff, but I mean, I had a really great visit when I came. My family loved it, and throughout my other two visits, like no other place really felt like FAU. So when the old staff was getting fired, I was a little like all over the place, not really knowing what I was going to do. But once the new staff got here, I talked to Coach Kitley, and it's close to home. It felt like home here, and it's where I wanted to go and pursue my dreams.
He recruited me out of high school. He was at Southern Miss, I believe, and I went to a camp there, worked out with him there, and something had came up, and he wasn't able to squeeze me in the scholarship. But I guess he still kind of kept an eye on me. I went to Troy, and Summerall transferred over to Tulane, and went to Tulane over there and played a little ball, and then after I hit the portal, Coach Lacey had called me to say, I'm looking for a guy. We've had contact with each other, so I was like, let's do it, Coach.
We haven't had too many kids who have transferred within the conference to FAU. So you're somebody that had a knowledge of FAU and maybe what could or what was missing before you came here. Mm-hmm. Is that a culture that you've seen change since you joined in January?
Can you repeat that?
Just the change and the transition Florida Atlantic into a program like Tulane that has been a winning program. Have you seen that change?
Yes, ma'am. I've like the work ethic here is phenomenal. Like from the strength,
You're good.
the strength staff and all the way up to the head coach. Like everything's been phenomenal. You know, everyone is on board, on deck, ready to win, and that's what I like.
Coach mentioned that everybody's got a superpower right now, or one aspect of their game that they're really good at. For you, what do you think that is, and what are you working to get better?
For me, I would say we're a pretty solid pass rusher. I think I'm gonna look good in any aspect of it, but there's always room to improve in your game. So, but pass rushing wise, I think that's probably my top.
And as far as going against our offense every day, you've got to be in shape. The
Yes,
fact
sir.
that you can't just play 2 or 3 plays in a row. You've got to be in shape to keep up with that tempo. Has that been a challenge, or is that something you're a little bit used to from Tulane?
I'm gonna say it has definitely been a challenge because teams like in the conference, they tempo, but once you stop at first, second down, that kind of slow down. But dealing with Coach Kelly, he always got his foot on the gas, and it's been kind of a challenge, but it's coming around. I'm ready for it. I'm in shape, so I don't think we'll face nobody that's move as fast as us. So but you definitely need to be in shape dealing with
And
the
now
offense
that,
we have.
and now that we've heard being a part of a rotation going into week 1, how's that been with you and the other 3 guys overall, working together and just trying to stay strong as a group overall for you 4?
I wouldn't say it's been hard. It's kind of been easy. Coach Lacey kind of get mad at us because we all buddy, but I feel like we still go out and compete. We all know what's at stake, but at the end of the day, we're still teammates and brothers, and we want to keep the competitiveness going, but also stay together.
And for the room overall, would you? Is there a certain aspect you've seen improve, even for yourself or for everyone around you?
For our room, I would say our effort has gotten better. That was a real challenge for the edge room. And I believe in the spring before I came here, also in the summer. So I feel like the effort and just, everything just coming together.
How much different has this week felt now that y'all are actually, that much closer to actually playing a game that's going to count in the record column?
It's a little more like detailed than fall camp, but like the speed is still speed. Everything is still up to where it needs to be, but everything's been the same. But just the little things we have to work on and going into the team that we're about to play and the things that they run as offense.
New Orleans or Boca Raton?
Depends on if you're eating.
Yeah. I feel like Boca's a nice place, but it's nothing like New Orleans, man. Like from the food, but just as a coach, there's always something to do out there. I feel like there's a few things to do out here, but I haven't really explored as much. But yeah, I would have to take New Orleans, and like it's hot and humid in New Orleans, but like this South Florida heat is kind of it's different.
So you haven't embarked down into the southern part of the state, then it doesn't sound like, to the Miami area and all of that, because that's where it's at.
No, sir, I haven't really got a chance.
Yeah,
to
well,
get
good
out.
for you, because the coaches want to hear that answer. Correct answer.
Thank you.